Would you say that it's prime time we get back to this?
I do believe you are right, Matt. Said the thought in my head. Yes, Matt. It's been we were all prepped up. I had Prime 2 ready and raring to go. Echoes was good and recorded, and then Retro Studio just shadow drops this in our lap.
Like,
and just
literally
says, hey,
shadow drop. Like, the very day it was announced.
just like, hey, we know that you guys are really wanting freaking Metroid Prime 4. We're still working on it, but here, have Prime 1. The idea being this is Prime 1 rendered in the engine that they're using for Prime 4.
And I'm pretty sure someone in Retro was all like, when the moment this all happened, it's like, take that, leakers!
So, yeah, let's not get spoiled on all that. So, this is Metroid Prime Remastered. We're revisiting the first game, but I'm going to do it live this time. Not going for 100% and everything.
Now it's live time.
Yeah. No.
What
So
are your expectations now?
yeah. So we have most everyone here, including Sammy, who's going to be role playing as Samus throughout this. So yeah. Sorry.
Oh, that's perfect.
Don't mind the
you're doing
X-Men theme. Don't mind the X-Men theme playing out of her visor. That's just a liberty she's taking.
You're doing a fine job over there, Sammy.
But we do have Doug here to also join us for this time. I think this is your first time. I think this is your first time joining us for this.
For Metroid, no.
This is your first time.
No, it's
For
not.
Metroid Prime.
He
Well, I
was
mean, for Prime Remastered.
For Prime, yeah, it
well,
is.
Yes, but he was also with us for
Because he
Prime
was not-
Hunters, remember?
Oh, that's true. Okay, fine. But this is your first time joining us for Prime 1. Because Prime 1 was done before your time originally.
Every time you say that, I'm just like, Logan, I'm 23, soon to be 24 by the time this fucking goes up. What the fuck? It's like putting salt into the fucking meat that just becomes so fucking saturated.
I know.
He was pushing blocks on the shape block thingy when Samus was already busting heads down in Tallon 4.
Speaking of, let's go see what's gonna go on there. Normal difficulty twin stick shooter. Let's go see what the new engine can prove itself. Also, the cool thing is I get to actually turn on all the old subtitles and the narration that the later releases of this game had.
Which is a nice little bonus.
That was not always the case when this game was first released on the GameCube in America. That we did not have the actual like narration of dialogue or even any areas to think. This one notwithstanding, there'll be some voice dialogue later. All you gotta know is if you have not ever played the first Prime game. Yeah? Tell me about space, Daddy.
Space. It's vast, it's endless, and full of many possibilities and...
Oh, there it is.
I was going to say space. The final frontier.
Everyone says that.
Because it's iconic, motherfucker. Tell me otherwise.
It is, but it doesn't make it any less overplayed.
Oh, like,
There you go. It's not Aaron, it's Aaron.
You know, part of me does think, listen to this now, it's like, I appreciate that they added this in. Wouldn't have been some shit if they actually added in the monologue that they cut from the final game?
yeah.
Oh, where it was actually Samus herself monologuing?
Yeah.
Played by Jennifer Hale, if I remember correctly.
It's actually been interesting. Especially, it'd be cool if they included it, say, in the extras. I have not unlocked everything in the extras, but it would be cool if they included it as something you could hear.
Would have been nice.
But yeah, Tallon 4 has never looked prettier. And this is on the Switch. And I will say, before we even get into this game runs wonderfully on the Switch.
That's nice.
It is... So, I'm not going to act disappointed about this. They're my big old shoulder pads.
As big and bulky as ever.
I had a plan for how I was going to originally cover this game, especially because of how I plan, and still, damn it, plan to cover Prime 2 and Prime 3.
Because Logan here is a dirty mouse and keyboard player, and he couldn't let that go with Metroid Prime.
I enjoy that. I enjoy my first-person shooters in mouse and keyboard, and I can do so many so much cooler movements with. Like, look at this. I gotta move the analog stick around.
Well, hold on. You can turn on the gyro.
That's true. Let me turn that on.
I mean, that at least it's similar enough to moving a mouse around.
So we can do hybrid style. hybrid style uses both the gyro and the mouse beam to kind of almost try to mix between the Prime trilogy, the trilogy collection, and did I not turn it on properly?
I don't think you did. Check again. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure even with the dual stick format, you could still technically do the gyro.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I see. The tricky part is oh no, this is really weird. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm trying to figure this out because that was like very weird. It was like I couldn't move the camera left and right, but I could move it.
Oh, you know what? I go back to dual stick and then move down and then move down on the selection because there should be something that turns on the gyro.
Oh, camera. Here we go. Gyro and stick.
There you go.
All right, thank you.
That's
Okay,
more like it.
Okay. All right, we're in this now. We're in this for the long haul.
I'm surprised that isn't already set by default.
Yeah. Okay, let's go switch into our... I said switch to combat freaking scanner. My lord. Turn this all off. So, oh my gosh, that was a little messy at first. So, Prime 1, we already covered it. The main plot that you need to remember is that Samus here is investigating another old Federation starship that is seen some better days. Although she thought it was a Federation starship, this actually seems to be non-Federation class. This almost looks like it belongs to the Space Pirates.
Methinks that it is indeed a space pirate vessel.
Whoa!
Oh,
Okay, fine. I guess energy weapons only on these doors. Fair enough.
so
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
don't go wasting all your ballistics.
yeah. I don't know if it's too early or too late to ask, but I figured we might as well cover this anyway. Aside from the option to include gyro, what are some other like noteworthy features that Prime Remastered introduces here that you'd say the other versions lacked?
Well, far better lighting engines for one thing. Look at this.
Look at that giant parasite burn.
Now this is more of a.
Oh.
Now this is more of a. Oh my! What the hell is going on with you? This is a space pirate that is weak. Imprints of a large bite.
But wait, he's got a weapon!
Oh boy.
But yeah, higher fidelity on the textures and the models. No, and off he goes. And real quick, I guess one thing that could be seen as a positive or a negative, depending on how you look at it, they changed how the charge beam works in this game. Normally you would just press the button once and hold, and you would fire. But this game, I guess the idea is that it was to make it easier to do rapid fires on enemies, so you're not tapping the button like a maniac, even though I will still be doing that, don't mind me. But you have to press and hold, and you will always release a triple burst, and then you will charge. So do note that your charge beam is on a slight bit of a delay compared to the original.
A bit. Not by an awful lot.
But off they go.
Look at him scurry into that vent. I do believe that's a clue.
Alright, off I go then. But, we'll get ourselves a map. But, yeah, no, so again, the idea was I wanted to do mouse and keyboard originally because there's a really good way to mod it, and it actually worked really I beat the game. I've beaten this game now twice. Once on this, once with the, mouse and keyboard hack on Rest in Peace, that other system. Now I have to rely on Ryujin's if I want to do that some more.
Yeah, unfortunately, by the time we were actually planning on doing this via, mouse and keyboard setup, we were still using Yuzu at the time.
Right. Which apparently, from what I've heard, because my friend does have it on his Steam Deck as well, it still runs just fine. Like if you have a version on it, it will still work as it should. It just It just there's always the legal problem of like, oh my gosh, what would happen? What are the ramifications of it?
Right.
So that's why we're sticking with Ryujin's.
What if Nintendo were to come back and sue you?
Well, they tried that. What I love about that is that they didn't even give them the chance to be sued. They just said, "Knock it off," or "Cut it out,"
sir.
and they're like, "Okay."
Stop that right now. You're in timeout corner.
Like I swear, the moment that alternative emulator was actually. The moment that alternative emulator was, announced, the way it was worded, it almost made it sound like a freaking hard drive article.
Kind of, yeah, but it was the truth. Zebs has fallen, all ground personnel. Again, for those who are wondering, this takes place in the timeline just after 2 or just after the first one?
The first one.
2.
Everything in the Prime series is after the first game, but before the second one.
However, it's also very arguable where the Prime series lies, because even like Nintendo, when they were asked this, like, hey, where's the Prime series lies, the creators just go,
I mean, fair. It's just, at this point, the main thing that we can understand is that it's understood the timelines are separate.
Kind of.
Well,
it's one of those things where it's one of those things where, like, you could totally acknowledge it as being canon, but they're so far removed from all the other, like, Prime or Metroid stories where you can have it either which way.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like a large reason as to why a lot of people like to consider it canon is because doesn't this game well, I know this game. I forget how in-depth the 2 and 3 go into it as well, but doesn't this game kind of go into, like, an explanation as to why Ridley is able to keep coming back despite Samus very thoroughly killing him?
Well, definitely explains how he came back. It could definitely be an explanation for... It's definitely an explanation for how he could come back in Super Metroid, because remember Samus Returns, that much more predominantly featured Ridley and or Meta Ridley, was not in the
original
that
too,
wasn't
yeah.
in the But
I mean, to be fair,
yeah,
it can also be explained in one very simple way of how Ridley was able to return in Metroid, like in Super Metroid. Same with Kraid. They wanted to remake the first Metroid, so there we go. That's quite literally just it, and they just went, we can bring him back. Why? Because fuck you, that's why.
We can bring him back.
He is a really cool design.
Because we can!
Listen,
we have the technology!
Listen, space-time is a very unpredictable concept.
Space is warped and
Yeah.
time is bendable.
Like, what would take us 30 years could probably take space like 2 months.
Yep. Yeah. I guess if space was on the job, I guess. But yeah.
Have your pizza in 5 light years or less.
That's the measure of distance, though.
Oh yeah, I guess it is. Well, in any case, real quick, so yeah, real talk. So again, I wanted to originally do this in mouse and keyboard, especially because I was informed of this thing called Prime Hack about, I think, 2 to 3 years ago, which if you've never played Metroid Prime and for whatever reason you don't.
Oops.
Wow.
If you wanted to play Prime and you don't, for whatever reason, have a Switch, one way you could do it, albeit you would need to supply your own ROM. Let me out of here so I can get in there. You would need to supply your own ROM. You could use Dolphin, the Wii emulator, and the Trilogy Collection, and this whole fan project called Prime Hack is basically a bunch of optimizations and custom controls. Oh, hey, what was this thing called again? The something queen?
Parasite Queen.
Parasite Queen. Thank you.
Gosh, all that detail.
And it's still ugly.
It's hideous.
Man, for a queen, you're ugly as fuck.
Oh,
shit! I'd hate to know who the Parasite King is. Like, damn.
I think she ate.
Again, the first and only time this will ever be necessary is if I scan the Parasite Queen, it does actually update with a new reticle. I really wish this was more utilized in the franchise as a whole, but they don't really do it a whole lot.
Yeah.
Now that I've done that, now I can target its mouth for much better damage than just shooting it in the belly.
Eat plasma
wide,
beams.
sister.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, so Prime Hack basically it's a fan collaboration project to allow you to play the trilogy with mouse and keyboard controls, and like you would any other standard shooter, and it is really fun, and it is giving me a new way to revisit these games if I ever choose to, and that's why my plan was I would be covering Prime Echoes and Corruption using Prime Hack, unless they for whatever reason become remastered on the Switch as well. I know a lot of people are clamoring for it. I don't know how far they'll go into it.
I feel like
I would much rather they just focus on Prime 4 now.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think finishing Prime 4 would be, like, the first thing they should prioritize.
Yeah, like, that thing's been in development for how long now?
About 8 years, I believe.
My lord.
Yeah. Which, actually, I do want to bring up one thing of the fact.
Yeah, go for it.
I do want to bring up one thing. I mean, let's be honest. The new Nintendo console is on its way. 100% they're going to pull a Breath of the Wild and make Prime 4 probably a launch title. Like, let's be
More than
likely.
I'd be fine with that if that was the case.
The Screecher's deceased. Another Parasite Queen, but it just didn't work.
Yeah.
Well, we found the Parasite King.
It didn't get the proper nutrients. But the space pirates are here too.
Damn space
Now that I
pirates.
see them again in 3D, I never understood how these were supposed to be the same space pirates from Super Metroid. They never quite matched the design as I pictured with the
They don't do
helmets and
karate
stuff.
kicks.
To be fair, with the whole idea of space pirates, I never considered like space pirates in itself to be a species. They're just pirates. They all have they're just pirates in general, so they probably don't have a specific species. This is probably just one different alien species that just happens to be space pirates. Like they have the color scheme. Yeah, they have the color scheme, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Do you think the color scheme was like something Ridley made mandatory, like they forced everyone to like paint themselves
It's
the
like,
same company colors?
Look, I'm purple, Kraid's green, therefore you have your uniform colors. There we go, chop chop.
Now, I'm not
What
saying
about
it's
red?
mandatory, but I might possibly snap
Wait.
your collective necks if you don't
No.
do it.
No. It's like Ridley goes, now I'm not saying it's mandatory, Kraid, I am.
Now I'm not saying it's optional. I'm just saying your liver is technically optional.
I mean, you can live without your liver, can't you?
I don't think they can actually.
I'm not saying it's
optional. You just need some sites to even get your praise. Now get them without your head.
Do you even know what your spleen is used for? That's right, nobody does. You don't need it.
Uh-oh.
I can simply take it right now.
Oh, I'm thinking of the pancreas.
Yeah,
That's the thing
pancreas,
that's
sorry,
optional.
I'm very out of it.
I pity
The liver is
pancreas.
absolutely
No.
necessary. Get me in.
Ridley, sir, do we space pirates even have livers or spines?
Well, only one way to find out, brave volunteer.
Go ahead, Matt.
Oh no.
No, there we go.
One way to find out. Now come here so I can be faster than Sonic and rip you apart.
Speaking of Ridley,
Speaking of, continue, Matt. Don't worry.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, Ridley.
Oh, there he is. Looking a lot
I'm
more
still in
robotic.
Smash.
He's not too happy about what happened last time we met.
Still such a cool entrance. They know Retro knows presentation.
Oh, absolutely. Like, even when they handled Donkey Kong, they knew how to make a game look very cinematic.
I'm still super looking for. I want a new Donkey Kong game.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
great. Which is
Let 'em
funny
finish-
because I just finished playing Tropical Freeze.
Yeah,
Listen,
however, please
Okay.
let him finish Prime 4. For the love of all that is holy.
That is.
Well, I mean, like,
Stop.
obviously, yeah, we just meant, like, eventually.
Oh, oop.
Oh no, they hit the reset button on her back.
Oh no!
Dang
Why
it.
do I have this?
I am
Man.
naked without my
Ima- fun fact.
Imagine for a moment. Not only does all of her upgrades malfunction, but also her language interpreter. So suddenly she's speaking Spanish.
Devil damn it.
Oh.
Imagine Samus doing the flamingo.
I mean, to be fair, considering I'm fairly certain her actress nowadays is Spanish. That actually is apt. So yes.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm down for it, and we are out of here. But also the little fun nostalgia fact for me was when we were going up the elevator, learning all about all the crap that was malfunctioning. I remembered when I first did this game on my own channel, like on my own personal channel. I had this really stupid thing of like, I had this really dumb habit of going like, over and above what I should have normally done,
Uh-huh.
like with editing and voice effects and stuff, and I felt so all those pirates.
Oh no!
I still have my spleen, thankfully!
Alright, with that said, I gotta do at least one other thing. It is tradition.
God damn it, of
We
course
began
it is.
with this as we're landing on the very peaceful surface of
In the
Tallon.
storm. And then... Samus never did get around to actually changing her car alarm.
Well, she likes it. That's why she doesn't change it.
Alright, there we go. For some reason, your like Discord sound suppression, I couldn't understand what you
it's
were
blocking
doing.
me out. it's a classic for us. It's all good. So, it's her jingle, which again we started that before she got her new voice actress. Before anybody jumps on our case, we just thought it was really funny because I was stupidly
Well, to
inspired
be
by
fair,
Lilo
you
and
did.
Stitch.
You were the one that started blaring it right out of nowhere, and I just caught us all off guard.
Because it's such
I mean,
a
I'm
sudden.
all for it.
You're in the ship.
And I was stupidly inspired by things like Lilo and Stitch. All right, now you all
Well, there's
know.
Lilo and
Totally fair.
Stitch, and well, I know that horn also appears a bit in like Ed and Eddie.
Oh yeah, that freaking sound effect.
I don't know. Like it isn't Spanish Flea, but like I remember in was it Meet the Parents or Meet the Fockers? Like they have they have the what was it? It is a big RV and the horn was Puff
Yes.
the Magic Dragon.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Wow, that takes me back. Jeez.
Also, I'm doing things a little bit out of order just to introduce this. Welcome to the Impact Crater. Again, for if you've never played Prime 1, know that this is the big... Think of this as the big golden boss statue from Super Metroid and Metroid onwards. This is going to be including all of the big things that we're looking for. And of course, the Space Pirates made a base here because they made a space on everything. Just like the Chozo made a base everywhere because, of course, the Chozo made a base everywhere.
Listen, if they spot a gold mine, they're gonna latch themselves on it like freaking hawks.
We will return to this place when it's more relevant to me. Right now, I need missiles. So
while you do
let's
your
continue down the path.
while you do your
Oh, that's
missile-
right. Hang on. The thing I did when in that elevator sequence, I was so proud about doing the learning how to make my voice sound like GLaDOS, like with the filters and everything, that I actually did the narration of all those things disabling before, because that was before the game had that narration added in. I love this theme a lot as well.
The theme is fantastic.
Yeah.
There's the instrumentation. It's like weird talk. It reminds me of freaking Disneyland, like Tomorrowland kind of like instruments. like the pier, the it's so good. Anyway, sorry, I'm crazy. I'm going in circles. Let's move forward.
You're fine.
Yeah.
We
All I was
only, we only just got here.
Oh boy.
By the way, you mentioning the GLaDOS voice and all that. I've been playing fucking shit ton of Cyberpunk and all that. I still love that one of the missions literally just has like GLaDOS line. One of the missions is you're hunting down these cabs that have rogue AIs, and one of them is just straight up GLaDOS. And if I remember correctly, if I remember correctly, half of the lines are reused from the original, but the other from like the Portal games and all that. But the other half are actually new lines from her actress.
Oh,
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, no.
I know that she's also, if I'm correct, isn't she also the actress of the
AI in Pacific
Didn't she
Rim,
al-
yes.
Well, it was that, and also wasn't she also the voice actress in Team Fortress 2 of the control point has been captured?
Yeah, that's
or
her.
Whatever.
Is that Ellen McLean?
That's cool.
Okay.
It is.
I think it is. Also, look, it's the rock that no one shut up about.
Rock.
I can't believe
Oh,
they
texture
such
rock.
such sloppy work. They missed one rock.
Never mind the skybox and my gleaming cannon.
Listen,
On the other hand,
we will never shut up about that the same way we'll never shut up about a door in a Final Fantasy game.
yeah.
Anyway,
wait,
something
wait.
I was wanting to.
Yes, Matt.
No, hold on. What about doors in Final Fantasy?
In the remake, there was a door. There was
Yeah!
a door that everyone wouldn't shut up
Yeah, in
about.
7 Remake, the fucking horribly textured door. Or
Just one door. Like maybe it's for optimization. Maybe they didn't want their game to be 70 gigabytes like Battlefront 1 and 2.
But no,
did they ever fix that?
Yes, they did.
Did they ever fix that?
They fixed that in the Integrate. Yes, they did fix that.
Okay.
Yeah.
As for Battlefront, nope, not yet.
Nope. Anyway, you're
and we
saying,
know why.
you're saying,
Oh, go ahead.
Steve wanted to say something.
Go for it.
Oh. Well, all I was just wanting to say, just for the sake of getting him involved in the conversation, whether it be through this game or even the original, do you have any experience with the Prime trilogy, Doug?
I think I did say it before. But when it comes to the first two games, I've never owned a GameCube, so I never got a chance to play the first two games. I do have a Wii, but I never got the third game because that was around the time where I wasn't really interested in trying new stuff because I was hesitant. Well,
Right.
until Smash stuff. But I did play the first game on Dolphin a while back, even before the remaster came out. And I did have a lot of fun with it. I do have the remastered on the Switch. I've still yet to play it because I've been occupied with a couple of stuff.
No
I
worries.
forget. Did you ever bring up what your first proper Metroid experience was?
I think I
Or Metroidvania in general.
I think I mentioned my experience of acknowledging it in the Prime Hunters playthrough. Like, my first acknowledgement, aside from my hesitation,
Smash?
was looking at my friend playing the game during lunchtime.
Gotcha.
Aww.
And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, you're really good at this.
Wait, what?
And I was
No,
like,
he's talking about,
12
like,
when-
he was saying that about his
damn.
friend playing.
Yeah, my friend played it years ago.
A compliment for Doug.
I was like, God damn, he was fucking good
was
at
like-
playing it. And he was, and I think it was playing either the original or Super Metroid on the 3DS.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, the new 3DS.
Yeah.
I was like
Fair
12
enough.
or 13 when that happened.
I hate that you're young.
Devil damn it, why are you a fetus?
God damn
Why are you hogging all the
Wait.
youth?
Hold on, I'm sorry. The
Hogging
fetus
all the
comment.
youth.
Hold on, I'm sorry with the fetus comment.
Why are you the only one that's not a 90s kid?
Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead. Don't worry.
Sorry, with the fetus comment from Steve, I'm just like, you didn't tell me that you were in Norman Reedus and his amazing fetus.
I could be a son.
Not all right.
That could explain a lot.
To be fair,
I was
you
about
do
to make
look
a
like Norman Reedus a bit at times, so.
They
At
can.
times, yeah. I was about to say for shits and giggles too. Technically, I'm not the only one that was born in 2000.
You say that, and I'm just thinking, like, honestly, no joke. You say that and he looks like Norman Reedus. I think he looks more like Norman Reedus before he hit puberty.
Honestly, you know what? Norman Reedus in Boondock Saints. Look it up. He looks different in that film than he does now.
You know?
Oh yeah.
You say
That's fair.
Norman Reedus before he hits puberty in spite of Doug's facial hair and long hair. It's like, if that's pre-puberty, I'd hate to see what happens when it hits some hardcore.
Who's to say that beard's real?
They
Actually,
just look like ZZ Top.
Actually, okay, yesterday, outside of this commentary, we were talking about, like Silent Hills and Hideo Kojima and stuff like that. I remember there was one comment I wanted to make, but it slipped by eventually. I still love the story of, like, when Norman Reedus met Hideo Kojima. So Hideo was already friends with Guillermo del Toro by that point. And Guillermo literally, he is also friends with Norman Reedus. And Hideo Kojima learned this. Literally, Norman Reedus got a call like a couple hours before Hideo Kojima called him. Norman Reedus got a call from Guillermo del Toro, and it was like, "Hey, Guillermo," and Guillermo literally goes like, "A man is going to call you named Hideo Kojima. Whatever he says, say yes to it. Just say yes. You will not be sorry."
Was that how they got into Silent Hills, or is that
That's
how
how
they
he
got
got.
into Death
Yes,
Stranding?
that's how he got into Silent Hills, and eventually, unfortunately, Silent Hills fell through. But that did eventually lead to Hideo Kojima doing Death Stranding, and also, like, I'll say this: all the really big names in Death Stranding, like Lea Seydoux, Mads Mikkelsen, Norman Reedus and all that, pretty much from my understanding, we can thank Guillermo del Toro for that.
So he was eating
Del
all
Toro.
of them.
Yeah, like Del Toro and him,
Oh my God.
Del Toro and Kojima were like friends for a long time by that point, and because of that, like, you know, Hideo Kojima, let's be honest, is kind of considered like a Guillermo del Toro of games. So, thankfully, because of Guillermo del Toro, he is able to get Norman Reedus, he's able to get Léa Seydoux, Mads Mikkelsen, and a lot of other people. And can't wait for Death Stranding 2 with some of the actors they're like bringing in.
You know, given all the
sure.
crazy shit that's found in Kojima's games, it feels like it's only a matter of time where he does end up making a game that doesn't bend too much into realism and go straight up like fantasy.
That is literally
Like,
called Death
imagine if he does
Stranding.
something like that.
You should really watch some Death Stranding, James.
It gets really out there with its plot.
gets
and stuff.
fucking weird.
Hence why we have freaking Norman Reedus' brother brought back, even though this one he died.
Not his brother.
But now he's a good. Oh, not his
No,
brother?
okay, I'll say this. That's Higgs. Higgs is a terrorist that like gained an obsession of okay. Basically, from my understanding is that, oh hey, look, Samus's face. We can see it for a second.
Yep.
Oh
They still
look,
do that.
white woman jump scare.
God damn it. But no, basically Higgs was a terrorist that became obsessed with Norman Reedus' character, and the reason why is because like they both have a connection to his character's sister and all of that. Norman Reedus' character's sister. But no, and in case you're wondering why he's back or how he's back, that's actually explained in the first game, of that there's these beings called repatriates, who when people die in that world...
It's always the Patriots.
No, repatriates or something. It doesn't have to do with patriots.
Okay.
But no,
Can you blame him for making that mistake though?
Metal Gear.
Yeah, but he doesn't... Yeah, no, fair. There's something like...
But continue. So they like brought him back from the brink of death or something?
Okay, so basically repatriates in the world of Death Stranding is, if you die, your soul is sent to this otherworldly location called the beach. On the beach, there is a chance for you to go and find your body back. And like get your body back and gain your life back. Some people, like, it's kind of rare, but people do have this ability to be able to follow, like, the strand of their life from their soul to their body and reconnect to it. That's what a repatriate is, and that's what Sam is. So, in the sequel, they're making it that Higgs himself is also a repatriate.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now they both have the connection and stuff, and he uses he's a rock and roll wizard.
Honestly, I'm fucking looking forward to that. I love that.
So
It's
stupid,
so-
but it's fun.
I love the world of Death Stranding because it is like, that was truly 100% Hideo Kojima going, I want to go pure sci-fi. I want to make my own fucking Dune. So here, let me make my own Dune. And then people were like, sure.
I'll
And he did
go
make
for
his
it.
own Dune.
Yeah, I want
I
to
can
wind.
tell you no.
Yeah, I want to wind back a bit when James was doing that. Like when we saw Samus's face briefly, James did that dumb joke of like white woman jump scare. This is a really dumb thing of me to ask, but say for the sake of rhetorics, you decide to like race swap Samus. What other race would you imagine her fitting?
Latina.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Samus Aran is named after a Latino football player. So,
Oh really?
yeah. By the way, by football, I mean soccer, not, yeah.
Yeah. Nope. I want to learn more about that
The
person.
real football.
Yeah, no.
Sounds fun.
Hold on, here, let me
Sorry,
actually
go ahead,
check
Doug.
who exactly she's named after. Give me a second.
While you're doing that, go ahead, Doug. Tell me the football joke.
You guys call it soccer. That's not the true name. Football is what we call it.
It's called football. That's why I call it football. Don't.
Yeah.
I know.
I was just explaining it to these Americans.
Damn
I'm
Americans.
American too.
Says the American.
Yeah, I know. I'm American. I
That's
just said I'm American too, didn't I?
Sorry, you just said really hushed, so I didn't hear it.
That's what
Hushity hush.
for what you guys
Always
call
gets weird
also
whenever we have to-
football, we call it rugby.
Ah.
Yeah. However, I'll actually say rugby is somehow more of a dangerous like sport than American football, because in American football, in American football, at least in American football, at least like they get to wear pads. In rugby, pretty much from my knowledge, no padding at all. That sport can get dangerous.
Right, yeah. Just put me to a fucking badminton class and I'll be fine.
Oh.
Well, I mean, like, depending how aggressively you take the game, badminton can be dangerous.
Oh,
I mean,
by the way,
I do like casual badminton. Haven't played it in years though.
Yeah. By the way, actually, this is interesting. So I knew that Samus, like, mainly it's her last name.
Aran,
Yeah,
Right.
Aran.
Jeez.
Yeah. In case you're wondering, that last name comes from Edson Arantes do Nascimento, aka Pele. Probably the most famous football player in history.
Do you know what? That also
yeah.
explains the
Oh,
giant
crap,
shoulders
yeah.
that Samus has.
Exactly.
But no, Pele. So yeah, no, that's cool.
That's interesting.
Man, so much, deep roots rooted in soccer, and it only took her till Dread to learn how to slide.
Right.
That's where, like, couldn't she...
So I really want to take
It's been a while since I played it, but couldn't she slide in Samus Returns?
Once again, Steve, I'd like to know. We like to know everything in Samus Returns. Ignore that shit. That was not in the original.
Well, I just meant, like, from a
Lot of
gameplay
wild stuff
standpoint, didn't that game have that feature first?
Nope.
No. It did introduce the parry mechanic.
That's true.
That's true. And the Aeon abilities.
That's yeah.
Which, I forgot, are they still called Aeon abilities in Dread?
They are, but I don't believe the save for like maybe one exception. I don't think any of the Aeon abilities from returns for Dread.
Right. The only one is the age-old scan pulse, which is just as important as ever, and honestly a much better use of the X-ray visor.
I think they might have nerfed it for Dread though.
It was definitely on more of a cooldown, I think.
I want to say it's been a while.
Oop, oop, oop.
That
So I just
considering,
want a really
that
long
considering
route,
that the map system in Dread is like not nowhere near the same as what it was in Returns. It probably like the only real use for it is to scan for breakable objects.
Right. Secrets and stuff. I'm very sorry. I just went a path I did not need to because I don't think there was anything... I don't think I even got a missile upgrade. No, I did get a missile pack. Okay, so it wasn't a complete total waste of time.
Nope.
Just that it's this path I want to go to. I want to go to Chozo Ruins East.
By the way, I do apologize for unfortunately bringing it up here, but I do believe one of you guys might have to record Dread in my stead.
Why would that?
I can do it.
What's up?
What's up?
Unfortunately, my Switch finally decided to kick the bucket.
Wait, is it doing the thing where like are you not just able to turn it on from the power button or anything like that?
Yeah, pretty much. It just doesn't. It doesn't work anymore. It's an old, it is a first generation. This is a, and by the way, it's first generation, and I also bought it secondhand. So.
Gotcha. I mean, have you tried the method of like holding down the power button for like 30-something seconds or so, and then turn it up and try again?
Yep. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm so because I know no one else who's ever beaten the final boss without taking damage.
Yeah, no, and I'm annoyed. I am pissed off. However, if I could get a new Switch, all my save files are still like on the cloud, so that's good.
Right.
It's just that I am not in a I mean to be fair as well, as much like I really want to get like a new Switch and all that so I can continue, but also to be fair, the new console is around the corner too. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's the big one.
So
That is true.
And
It may
true.
honestly.
And as far as we know, it is backwards compatible to the Switch.
yeah.
Well,
Which-
as far
Yeah.
as far as the rumors are concerned, but we don't know that for certain yet.
Well, I mean,
So,
I don't know
I-
why it
I'd
love
wouldn't
it
be
to
at this
be.
point.
But no, it's been about a week or two. So yeah, I am annoyed with it. So blech.
Yeah, that sucks. But yeah, we'll see what happens moving forward. I mean, to be fair, we're probably not going to get to Dread for a while. We still got like so many other Metroid games to tackle beforehand.
Especially
I mean,
new
by
games.
by that point, let's be honest, the new console will like be out. Anyway,
Right.
anyway, I will be back. By the way, so actually,
Okay.
yeah, continue without me. I will be back in the next episode.
Okie
Oh,
dokie.
okay. Ow.
All
That's
good.
fair.
All right.
I mean, I'm gonna keep going for a little while.
Anyway,
I'm enjoying this.
Bye, y'all.
No worries.
See you,
Take
Matt.
care, Matt. But yeah, I mean, I'll keep going a little bit longer. I like this. I still dig this whole approach we've been doing. Where the heck is that fourth symbol? I always miss it. Let's see. I already
It's
got
not
the
Blake,
one
is
down
it?
there.
Oh, that's not
What's
it.
up? Already got that one.
Is it on the gate itself?
No, I don't think so. Anyway, let me
Wait,
see.
look down.
Hey Siri, where's the fourth
Already got that
symbol?
guy.
Because there was another one like not too far from it, but never mind.
Let me look around. I got that one. Oh, is it up? Oh, it's. Oh, my bad.
It's literally right next door to it.
Thank you,
I
Siri.
should have not. I should have. I'm not Siri.
No, I was
Look
at,
at me.
I wasn't sure if you heard me earlier, but I was like being all like Samus is like saying, Siri, where's that symbol?
Oh,
Tell me where the secret is. Here we are. A bit of lore here. I can sum up the Chozo lore for you this. The Chozo are once again trying to find, everlasting peace and a greater understanding of the cosmos and all that inhabit it. And people just don't like that. And people are like, we hate you and we're gonna, kill you. But, but I guess that is an interesting thing, though, of note, is, also we got ourselves the fidget spinner.
let's just say that I think a better way to describe it is that the Chozos have some Chozos migrated to Tallon IV. Unfortunately, fate dealt them a really bad hand when a meteorite came and started to mess things up.
Brought with it a great corruption, a horrible, nasty element, one of which we were not going to actually learn that much about until much later in this game, but will soon become one of the most pivotal elements in this, the pivotal element of this trilogy.
Yep.
Although, that not being said, that explanation you had beforehand, the whole, oh, they want peace, and the people on that planet, they didn't like that, and I'm like, man, in here I thought humans were the only species that hated peace.
Yeah. Although I will say, I will give it that not since Samus Returns, those who know, you know, interesting little twist that Samus Returns gave us onto probably what was the real reason the Chozo went extinct.
Right.
Well, as dangerous as they were.
Well, they allegedly went extinct. Now we know that, they didn't. There's just some factions that are still out there in the cosmos.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Some
And we just happen to run into a really bad one.
I mean, I guess we can talk about it. It's going to be a long time, and granted, the game's been out for a long enough time. No sense in trying to, have any sort
Yeah,
of
no,
relevance.
it's been it's been almost 3 years now. Everyone knows at
Since
this point.
Dread?
Basically.
Yeah, since Dread.
my
That game
God.
came out in 2021, my dude.
Yeah.
My God.
Basically, Samus has daddy issues.
Well, the idea is that. Basically, the idea that I find interesting is that I find it really cool that that at one point they literally the plot actually gives us the battle between the last Chozo and the last Metroid, and it is not in the sides that you think it would be on.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it was already alluded to in Returns, if you were to go out of your way for those memories.
Yeah.
Right. But and I remember James telling me about how haunting he was when he did that, and he was like, it was late at night, and he unlocked that final memory.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something I would not recommend for any future players of Returns, assuming you still have a 3DS to play it on.
But that's what I always liked about this game is that there is maybe not so here, but there are some Metroid games that do try to play with horror, actual horror elements, even when Luigi's Mansion could be argued as their quote unquote horror genre game.
Well, about as horror as Mario can get away with.
Right.
Right.
Fair.
It's about as much of a horror as Nightmare Before Christmas is.
Fair. It's time for a boss.
Yep. We get to fight a literal flamethrower.
Yep.
Scary.
For whatever reason, it's called the Hive. For whatever reason, it's called the Hive, the Incinerator drone. The Hive totem was the first boss. What am I talking about? Yeah, the one with the rock, the missiles. My goodness. Just blast it and piss off some bees, and that's all we're doing.
Not the bees!
What the hell was that about?
It alerted to peace.
I decided to look into Blood and Honey, the sequel.
The
Wait,
sequel's
that's the
already
sequel?
out?
I thought that was the original one.
I looked into Blood and Honey 2 because Blood and Honey 2 came out this last
Oh,
Wednesday.
yeah, that's right.
Jeez, they're just crapping them out.
Yeah,
And,
no fanfare,
I
almost
will-
as if people kind of don't care.
I will give it credit. It is trying to do some stupid things, but some interesting things with the license. And I will say that the costume that Pooh has in Blood and Honey 2 looks more like an actual monstrous bear and not just a guy wearing a weird Halloween
Yeah, I
mask.
remember the costumes being
But
more, just better in general compared to the first movie.
right, and they're a lot more creative with the kills. But they are still suffering from a very low budget, which
Right.
means get ready for a lot of shots that are in the dark or close up, and you don't get to really see what's going on.
I mean, that's
But-
what generally happens with some horror movies nowadays. Like, people, I know that could be a debatable argument, but that's generally how it is nowadays with horror stuff. Like, I'm still gonna keep saying this, and most people will agree. Peak horror was like early '80s to and further on into the '90s. Same if
Need some
late
good
'70s, in
B-horror.
fact.
That's fair. No, but I mean like, that gave us some of the most recognizable, peanut gallery. What am I trying to say?
Horror icons like Jason
Give us
Voorhees,
some of the more,
Freddy Krueger, and all that.
Yeah, but so yeah, Morph Ball Bomb.
I mean, hell,
going.
fuck, Alien too.
But yeah,
fucking Xenomorph.
oh my god, yeah.
Yeah?
Jeez, yeah. But it's I mean, does anyone here even care for spoilers for Blood and Honey 2?
I never cared for anything regarding Blood and Honey, so go ahead.
I'm gonna watch it drunk, man.
Because I can tell you what. Oh, I shouldn't.
I mean, I
spoil
don't
it too,
care.
but
You
there's
can
some
say it,
really
man.
dumb
I
things
don't
that-
care.
Oh, but I think like your reactions will be so much more. Okay, so Blood and Honey, for those who needed to know, Blood and Honey was the very quick cash grab. Still is. I don't know why I'm saying was as if it's like evolved. It was. It is a big blatant cash grab to cash in on the fact that Winnie the Pooh entered the public domain.
The book version, that
And-
is. The Disney version's still
the
off
book
limits.
version.
Right.
So they had to make sure to use only things that were in the book. So, for instance, Gopher will not appear in these ever.
He's not in the
He
book.
was not in the book.
It's a long way down, Gopher. He's
Yeah, I was
still
about
falling.
to say. I was about to say. It got awful quiet all of a sudden.
Oh, basically, Discord probably cut me off, but I was holding that. I was holding that the entire time up until I said that's a long way down. Like he was,
I was
falling.
confused. I was
Anywho.
genuinely confused.
Discord, why do you Discord, why do you have to
Sorry.
mute? Discord, why do you have to mute the funny?
Aw.
It's a good funny. Anyway, so Blood and Honey. The story follows that Christopher Robin was friends with Winnie the Pooh and his friends in the 100 Acre Wood, but then he had to go to college and he had to leave them. And I guess the problem was that he was the only one bringing them food, and they do need to eat in this continuity. And without anyone to bring them food, and they had never learned to hunt for themselves, and the woods are kind of desolate, don't actually have much for them to eat.
Right.
They actually had to cannibalize Eeyore
Right. I do remember.
no.
to survive. And in cannibalizing Eeyore, the surviving members took a vow of silence, which is basically code word for we don't want to spend money on we don't want to have to spend money on trying to. Oh wait, I forgot. I don't go through it yet. Basically, it was code word for we don't want to spend money on trying
Actors.
to get actors or not having a lot of dialogue. Pooh does speak, just not until the very end because they didn't want to spend a lot of money on ADR, so just just have it appear the one time. So they take a vow of silence. Christopher Robin returns with his new fiance. He wants to, which I think is wholesome, and I think would be I mean, I guess to an extent, the actual Christopher Robin movie that Disney put out did do this somewhat, of actually having Christopher Robin like introduce his family to his childhood, Winnie the Pooh and stuff. Hang on. Let's start working on this room. So then what ended up happening was he returns and Pooh and Piglet are mad. And they show up and kill his fiance in front of him and kidnap him. And we don't know what's gonna happen to him. Cue a bunch of girls. Like, this is the part where like it was very much like just the first movie was just such a blatant like, let's follow the very cheesy tropes of a slasher, like a bog standard like cardboard cutout like slasher movie, not trying to do anything fancy, there's no plot I can bear. There's no plot I can actually tell you. I may as well just skip to the very end, which is that who you think is going to be the final girl, they save Christopher Robin, they unchain him, and who you think is the quote-unquote final girl is fleeing for her life when Pooh captures her and finally breaks his vow of silence, telling Christopher Robin, "You left," saying like this is your fault and this is why, and there we go, and kills her and leaves Christopher Robin to flee for his life, and that's how the first Blood and Honey ends. Just a really bleh. Whoops, not that button.
Oh.
Just a very, not that button. just a very bland.
Remember, you're playing on a controller.
I know.
It's so.
Just a very bland slasher. So now Blood and Honey 2 gets into the mix, and they're trying to add. And there are bits where it doesn't take itself seriously, and then there are bits where it's taking itself very seriously. And that's where this new plot comes in, which is that. By the way, we're also getting into our first major boss of the game.
Here he comes.
Yep, this is the being responsible for corrupting and making the water all burny.
Man, I love Plantation.
It's solar power too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Innovative.
It's an eco-friendly villain.
Not quite. He did taint He did taint this plant's water supply.
That's fair. Hey, Flaahgra. Can I get close to you?
There you go. Just close enough. Not quite.
Finish it. There.
There you are.
I mean, again, some pretty sick designs. Wild that these are the same people who gave us like Frederick and Pompey the what was his name?
Pompey the Presumptuous.
Yeah. Just go cycles. Yeah, just get rid of the yeah. Don't bother trying to kill it first. Don't bother trying to kill it directly. Shut off its power and then burn it at the roots. Kind of more of a puzzle boss than anything.
Yeah.
I heard before the roots grow back.
Which is all fine with me. I remember what happened in Nintendo Capri Sun. I don't want to repeat it.
Don't jinx yourself now.
If for those who don't know, like maybe James and Hive, I don't know, maybe they've seen it. Nintendo Capri Sun was fighting this guy, and he accidentally got clipped and dropped into the pool. And when you're in the pool, he couldn't find the way back out, and you're just dead.
Ouch.
Yeah. So do not fall in the water.
Was the pool that deep?
Maybe he just got, because the problem is that this is before you get the gravity suit, so you can't see well underwater either.
I mean, that's true too.
Drop down. Oof.
Would have been very uncomfortable if he landed straight on you.
Yeah, that actually can do a lot of damage and clip you. So anyway, so Blood and Honey 2 starts off, and Christopher Robin is kind of similar to Madness Returns. Christopher Robin is seeing a psychiatrist, because now we're learning that apparently there's actually a bit of a dark backstory to Christopher Robin, which is that one time when he was a child, he was playing in the woods, and get out of here. And he was playing in the woods, and and his brother was kidnapped by some men. Like his brother was just straight up. Oh god! Roll!
Roll for your life, man.
Oh, okay. He fell the other way. That's good. I thought he was gonna fall on me.
So kidnapped by men.
His brother was kidnapped, and he could never find him again. So, at the same time, we are now introduced to Owl and Tigger. So, Owl and Tigger will make their appearance in Blood and Honey 2.
Oh,
Let's see. So they're in the 100-acre wood trying to get by when a hunter arrives because here's the thing. Right now, everyone without any evidence, everyone thinks that Christopher Robin was the one that murdered all the women in Blood and Honey 1. He wasn't arrested though, because again, no real evidence, but he's kind of ostracized by the public at large. You better fall away from me.
There you go.
And
falling stage left, or excuse me, stage right.
Perfect. And there we go. But so they
I'm burning. What a world.
There we go. And nature heals. It's like the Lion King. So
much better.
Anyway, I can't do it.
And then Pride Rock healed itself.
Somehow. So, anywho, so a hunter shows up and actually kills Piglet from Blood and Honey. So they get into a scuffle, and Piglet dies. Re-enter the shoulder pads. So Piglet dies,
which that's not going to mean much because they confirmed he's coming back for Puniverse.
Right, they will. Right, right. I will get into that. So Piglet's dead, and so that ends up yes. So that leads to the justification that Owl and Pooh, they're all talking there, and they break their vow of silence mostly. They're talking again. Mm-hmm. They all, God, I love the Varia suit. Such a cool look.
So sleek. But man, those shoulder pads.
I know. At least in frickin' Dread, you can actually start using these shoulder pads for something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Deck people like Wario. Yeah. Now we can survive going into the lava realm of Magmoor Caverns, which is where I'm headed next. So, so then what happened is that they basically use Piglet's death as justification of, if we let the humans come, the more will come, and the more that come, the more that they will take and hunt us down. If we're to survive, we need to become the hunters. So they decide to basically go on a rampage and start killing everybody in the town. The town of Ashford, I think it is. But anyway, so they just go on a killing spree and start hunting people.
I love how it's announced a sequel where they go on a full-on killing spree.
Oh, yeah. So, as Charlie in his video likely already talked about, they do some very silly things. For instance, Tigger has now become... Let's go to Magmoor. Tigger has now become this version's... this movie's version of Freddy Krueger, and I mean late movie Freddy Krueger when he was just saying bitch all the time.
Fuck, really?
Oh, Lord.
So Tigger, you will see a scene, Doug, where they're in a nightclub and they're just killing everybody in this nightclub. And literally every single time Tigger's killing someone, he's saying bitch. He's calling them a bitch. Like every time, every single time someone's dying, it's like welcome to the ride, bitch, or something like that. Anyway, so just this is the quote. This is the warning. Children ages 5 through 9 probably should not watch this movie. There is some adult language. It's very inappropriate that they do not see the movie. The language is.
Why would you make them see the first? Why would you let them see the first?
Blood
movie?
has a title in there.
It's a joke. I know. Anywho,
This is just a PSA before we continue.
That is true.
let us not forget how many parents were confused and brought their children to see Sausage Party
Or FNAF.
or FNAF.
I mean,
Or let them play Conquer Bad Fur Day.
with FNAF, that's
Haha.
I can understand the FNAF's case, but at the same time, most kids that know FNAF knows some of this plot, probably not that deep into it, concerning the older people that's been sticking with FNAF, including myself. But I can understand that still, but at the same time, the FNAF movie is just harmless.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that
I mean-
towards, like, the movie specifically. I just mean, like, just in general.
Yeah, generally speaking, yeah, that's fine. I can agree.
I mean,
with
that's
that.
fair. It is definitely not for kids, or I should say, it's definitely not for the kids who. It's definitely not for the kids who are asking their parents to take them to see the movie.
Right.
It's yeah. But I will say,
or the ones that are buying all the toys.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say though, from what I'm hearing, it is a really solid adaptation though. Still, from what
It
I'm
is.
hearing, anyway.
And also the second movie's in development.
That's good.
Yep.
I
And,
mean, figured. I mean, if it was able to freaking outpace the Mario movie in such short time.
Yeah.
I think it's sold. I want to say, don't quote me on this. I want to say it sold better than Wish.
Well, to be fair, what
I mean-
didn't?
I mean, I'd say it would.
I'll have to
so.
check. Maybe not
shocked that it didn't.
globally, but
Right.
I'll check it later.
Listen,
forget
we're
Chozo
currently
Boss.
in an era where, for at least 1 year, the best-selling animated flicks were from video game adaptation or movie adaptations of video games.
Yep.
And Adam
Making
Sandler
Mario,
comedy.
Sonic, and Adam
That
Sandler
too.
comedy.
A good rise to
So,
that one.
actually, right? Where the hell am I? Oh, here it is. So then, anyway, Blood Honey 2. So they're killing people, and Christopher Robin is trying to figure out what happened and why he's remembering certain things. The plot gets a little hazy for me around this point, but all I'm going to tell you is that this is the big twist that they're going with Blood and Honey, or at least with Winnie the Pooh in particular. So there's Resident Evil kind of things going on now,
Oh.
and and there was a doctor who was trying to create and was known for failing miserably animal-human hybrids.
Oh god.
So, and if you can already start, piecing things together from everything I'm telling you, you're already on the right track. This movie is very predictable in its story. It's like, how to put this? Maybe it's not predictable, and you're not. Maybe it's not predictable, and you maybe can't tell what they're about to initially pull out of the hat. But once you see what they're pulling out of the hat, you're like, okay, I know exactly what's coming out of this hat next. So, it turns out that the big plot of everything that's been going on and why it's been happening is that Christopher Robin's brother that was kidnapped is Winnie the Pooh.
Oh,
What?
boy.
Like he was kidnapped by the doctor and his men and was taken to become an animal-human hybrid. They all failed, but the ones that survived, those are the critters of the 100-acre wood, quote-unquote.
So, like...
That's why they're sentient, that's why they're people-like, and...
So, okay, so first off, like, how does that explain, like, the versions of them, like, when Christopher Robin was kids?
I guess the idea is that it's more like he was a young teen when he met them, or maybe the animal hybrid thing, like, rapidly aged them or something, but... Yeah, so they're human hybrids, not magical creatures in this particular movie's case. And here's our also here's our stop in Magmoor Caverns. We'll be coming back here many times later, but for now we need to get someplace a little cooler.
Yeah.
I mean,
so-
again, I think I may have brought this up during our initial recordings of the Metroid Prime, or the original Metroid Prime. But like, Samus better have some sort of air conditioning unit inside her shoulder pads.
Yeah.
I mean, I always assume that's, and they're the cooling engines, the fans going like mad. But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, let's see. There's got more pirate tech. Nothing we can do here just yet. So by the end, the human characters are actually gaining the upper hand. They managed to kill Tigger. They managed to kill Winnie the Pooh in a big like battle thing as well.
Jeez.
And there we go. One more time.
Nice.
There we go. I got the old bomb jump rhythm down.
Does that ever? Do you ever freaking clench whenever you do stuff and do that kind of thing?
No, I mean, like, again, once you get the rhythm, it's boom, boom, boom. If you can get to your full height anyway, but practice, just practice.
That's all it takes. Trial and error.
Yep. And
And
draw
a whole bunch of bumps and bruises on your face.
Yeah.
But so they managed to kill them, but Owl survives and vows that he will find a way to bring them back to life as he flees with their bodies, and that's how they're likely going to all return. And then in the credits is when you start noticing other childhood drawings passing by, like Bambi, Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, setting up this really stupid idea that I'm sure is going to be a lot of fun.
Man, that's gonna be fun.
Boy.
Will it be cheap? Yes. I just people forget that B horror is in and of itself a genre, and we've been kind of without B horrors, or at least noteworthy big budget B horrors for a while.
Yeah.
Or you can just adopt the noteworthy.
I was even about to say, when you mentioned the fucking experiment thing, you say Resident Evil. I just mainly think of the fucking I do apologize for even bringing those two up. Fucking I always think about fucking Human Centipede and the fucking Walrus movie that they had.
Oh,
Tusk. Yeah.
I only know that because freaking Sora's in it.
Sora's actor, yeah.
He's a supporting character in that movie.
Yeah, basically, if I remember with Tusk, I haven't seen the full movie, but I'm trying to remember from years ago. Fucking the person that got turned into the fucking walrus was, I think, either drugged or something, taken by a doctor, and was curious by changing his physical appearance into a fucking walrus.
So there's actually a bit of a really lame, not lame, but it's very there's actually a bit of a misleading thing with that, where so the guy goes to the doctor to like interview him. Turns out the doctor gave him drug tea, and he's like paralyzed, and then wakes up, his like Achilles tendons are severed, so he's paralyzed, he can't move his legs. And to sort of spoil near the end, the idea is that the man okay, spoilers, the man's crazy.
Well,
and
you'd have to be.
And what happened was, a long time ago, he was in the Arctic and he was about to die, and he made friends with a walrus. And a long time ago, and unfortunately, like, he was about to starve. And basically, he basically like drove himself mad, traumatized, because he had to kill the walrus, his like surviving companion, for food and blubber or whatever. Yeah. So he's been racked with survivor's guilt this entire time, and this whole Tusk thing, was basically his own twisted way of trying to go through his survivor's guilt. That he felt that he should not have survived. And that's right, I gotta get the space boots first. He didn't think he should have survived.
No, damn Sheegoth.
So he didn't think he should have survived. So he would kill people. He would turn people into walruses and then force them to either learn how to swim and act like a walrus, so that he could enact some really weird role play where he fights him to the death. And the idea being that all along this man believed that he should have lost that fight to the death between the walrus, and he hates himself that he won and killed the walrus and survived off of his blubber and whatnot. So he does all of this to kind of do this weird role play of, can the walrus finally kill me and put me out of my misery? So the man does actually get the upper hand and kill him, even in his walrus form. Which, by the way, he's not literally... Basically, he's paralyzed, and his body is stuffed into a walrus suit made of human skin. So he wasn't actually, transmogrified into a walrus, just a really crude imitation. Boost ball! Yay! Remember when I was playing Metroid? So the idea... But he manages to get the upper hand on him, but there's this idea that he still pretty much lost his humanity and practically was gaslit into believing he was a walrus and becoming more feral, and he now lives the rest of his days in a zoo. And his friends look upon him, and he looks up at them with a tear, revealing that although he can't communicate as well anymore, there is probably some humanity of him still left. Also, the boost ball. They actually do a neat little thing where with the lighting engine, the boost ball can actually change color depending on which suit you're using.
Oh, that's neat. But yeah, no, the more I hear about this, the more I'm convinced it's amazing that you can make a horror movie out of a simple song lyric.
Right?
I'm the walrus. Damn it. Jeez. But yeah, no, but I want more fun.
And
stupid
all this talk about
movies.
animal hybrid, like horrors. It's like, hey, hi. Remember when Catwoman was an actual Catwoman?
Well, that's less stupid horror and just stupid.
I really thought you were about... I was about to make the joke of, like, speaking of animal hybrids, that reminds me. Hey, Hype. I was like, don't get any ideas. I don't think Hype's in the market.
What kind of implication do you have by that, little mister?
That could be you, Hype. You could be soaring across the land in a...
You could be a pterodactyl man.
I want to be a pterodactyl man.
I just want... Listen, I'd rather just turn people into dinosaurs. Fuck the fact that I could cure cancer.
I don't want to
Thank you, Sauron.
Is that his actual name, Sauron, like dinosaur?
Well, I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but it's spelled very similarly.
That's incredible. I guess speaking of something more positive, because I was sharing it with Hype earlier, and I genuinely think it's really fun. I need to look up the writers again, but these in one of the Harley Quinn comics, they usually have like a little bonus comic at the end, usually done by a guest artist. And this week's, or this, this most recent issue's guest artist actually did a really fun like slapstick like Wile E. Coyote riff with Harley Quinn chasing after Kite Man.
Yeah, it was really cute. Like I like the art style, and I like Harley's outfit as well. Like it's not like a massive deviation from what she usually wears, but honestly, that's in a weird way. That's kind of why I like it, because it's like it does just enough to be different, but still be recognizable as Harley Quinn. And plus, the two-tone sneakers are just really cute. If I ever get back to my DC redesign project, I might incorporate those into my Harley redesign.
All means.
I love how in one panel she pulls up a sign that says "On Nerds."
On Nerds. Which is that actually something she said before? Nerds.
She might have at one point.
I can believe it.
Yeah, no, it looks really fun. It's an appealing design. I understand why a lot of people would want the more independent, like I'm a punk girl, but I just really, I don't know, something about the classic. I really dig the look of it. I love I love the digging look. Jesus Christ, my freaking brain loves to combine words in a really
she does
weird
look good
way.
as a digger.
I
yes.
like and dig it.
Hey, welcome to the club.
But yeah, honestly,
it can't just be me. I've complained about it already. You've done that too, where your brain has two words in your mind and you combine them in a really dumb way.
Yes, I have.
You're trying to say them both at the same time.
But yeah, honestly, it really is just. I do agree with you in a sense of not for nothing. People can like her current design as much as they want. I'm not gonna stop them from doing it, but. If you're gonna have a character named after a Harley Quinn, is it really that bad for her to actually look like one?
Right? Or if she doesn't want to dress like the Harley Quinn anymore, and assuming it was Joker who gave her the name Harley Quinn in the first place, easiest missile pack in the game.
Yeah.
Maybe she would want to distance herself from that further and give herself a new name, a new identity, a new start.
It's really funny because I brought up that similar point. I forget what game it was when we were talking about it. I brought up that point, and I think Matt, he didn't actually do this, but I'm going to use this word because I can't think of a better one. Chewed me out over saying that.
Why?
Well, in the sense of they make it very clear that she wants to show the world that oh yeah, the Joker might have made me, but that doesn't define me. I'm going to take what he did and skew it, just to spin in his face. And I can understand doing that for but I feel like the way that they do it is very halfway, where it's if you really want her to be separate from the Joker, then just go whole hog and change both her name and her outfit. Don't just do this weird halfway thing they do where they radically change the outfit but keep the name.
Well, I do kind of agree though. I do kind of agree in one thing though. If they really want to have it be that she treat it kind of in the same way that Eggman essentially just stuck with the name Eggman, to take it literally to steal the one thing from Sonic. That's essentially what he took pleasure out of, just calling him that and all.
Right, own it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Own it. Own up to that and own up the fucking suit.
Well, so and the issue is that is that she'll do this and she'll say, I'm going to be someone new, but I don't know if it's just me, but I feel especially with things like the Suicide Squad game, I feel like she's regressing.
Well, to be fair,
that's just kind of been a problem for years now.
Well, and also as far as the Suicide Squad game goes, that kind of has its own kind of slew of writing problems. Not the least of which being how it kind of refuses to stay consistent with what was already established in the previous Arkham games. The universe that it blatantly says it's supposed to take place in.
Yeah. Hey, Space Jump Boots.
Ah, finally, we can get one additional jump.
Finally, let's do so. Yeah,
it may not be the same space jump we all know and love, but I mean, hey, we can. I'm willing to take this. I mean, also when you think about it, it's kind of funny considering canonically this is the first space jump, which only gave us one jump, and then later ones gave us infinite jumps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I will say, I guess spoiling when we get around to it, I'm actually kind of intrigued in how they pulled off the screw attack in Prime 2.
Intrigued, though also kind of disappointed.
I mean, because I understand, like, there had to be limits. There's no way they could have done everything they wanted to with it, but I mean, it was a worthy enough attempt, and there are some unique little, like, platforming, like, because you can, like, ricochet and go off different walls. There are some neat ways of it. Hey, get away from there!
Hey,
Get away, you dirty birdies!
Kid. I had it first.
Oh.
Get away, you.
So that is the Frigate Orpheon that crash landed after blew up in the beginning of the game.
Man.
And this was its cargo.
It was the blue icky stuff that makes Mountain Dew lightning. What was it? The lightning blue flavor?
I think it was just lightning, yeah.
Or it could be Powerade.
This is Phazon. It is incredibly radioactive, even in this small form.
Well, congratulations! You just gave Samus Phazon cancer.
I thought you were about to call it space cancer. I was like, what the hell's the difference between
It's
that
like,
and regular? It's like,
how could you? Who made this?
Who made this? Oh yeah, freaking Harley Quinn. Who actually was the one who created that freaking device?
They never say that. That's part of the joke, though.
Poor Harley. She didn't mean to give that man cancer. And he looks so sad too, like, oh.
I know,
Aw.
like, yeah, I just wanted to shoot you. This is somehow even worse.
Anyway, now that I got the missile, now I can go and see what's actually inside here. So.
And actually, what I was just thinking of, like, you say, like, Powerade or, like, Kool-Aid or whatnot. I was just thinking it's just no names blue jelly.
Oh.
Blue
jelly!
Dun dun. Feels like
The final boss. No name.
It feels like somebody wants to sell me something.
And then you just see,
Oh
like,
my God.
Kraid behind a giant rock with another space pirate. I told you she was onto us.
You know, crazy we can damn fine job hiding behind that rock.
This is
Well, it's a
Chozo
giant
Artifact.
rock.
Collect it and scale the totems. So, again, as previously mentioned, this is the equivalent of the gold statue from Zero Mission and Super Metroid. These are the Chozo artifacts, and these are the Big Mac MacGuffins that we need to find throughout the entirety of this game. The first of 12. Yes, you gotta find all 12.
Man.
Have fun searching.
Some will be granted to you via puzzles and bosses, just through natural progression. Others we are going to have to find with, freaking elbow grease and some searching. Fortunately,
And a strategy guide if you ever got one back in the day.
but if not, just scan all of these little nodes, and they'll tell you a little bit here. Like we know here that now, if I ever find a Phendrana tower, that'll be where one of the artifacts is held. Here's another one. I'm gonna catalog all these down. Just know, no real point in me actively hunting these things until I have probably the latter, like I'd say at least 2/3 of my weapons, and then these will be feasible to start finding.
Right, because
Because
they're very intricately hidden.
But yeah, these are the big reason why we're collecting all our items. Everything is to facilitate grabbing these artifacts, because to kind of cut to the chase a bit on the plot, since we've already covered this game already. The Chozo, when that massive meteorite crash landed, that was Phazon. This is supposedly the very start of Phazon, at least as it infected this system. I don't know if in Prime 3 we'll ever learn where Phazon first originated from.
Oh, we do.
Oh, we do? Okay, cool.
Literally, the last place you go to is its origin point.
Oh, snap, okay. I'm only about, I think, when I was first practicing the game, I think I was only about halfway through. Like, I was about to go after the, I was about to go after the bounty hunter that can cloak and clone herself or whatever, the
Right.
shapeshifter. It crash landed here, and it began, eating away at all the life that was on this planet. So
It was just straight up messing it up.
So the Chozo, thankfully, had the foresight of, okay, we really ought to, put a cap on this stuff. Don't let it spread any further out of this planet. And they did, and, of course, they were even nice enough to plant a big self-destruct thing, in case, a big quarantine on Phazon.
They literally that entire area we were just we were literally just standing around and gathering info on. was literally the Chozo equivalent of a giant cork.
Yep.
And the space pirates showed up. And
They're trying to pull that cork out with little success.
Yep, Ridley wants to do it because they want to find a new weapon that can stop the world. And the most we'll describe for now is that they, of course, because the pirates love doing this stuff. Thank you, Mother Brain.
I love messing things up.
They had the plan to take Phazon, one of the most corruptible and radioactive materials in the world, and combine it with one of the most unintentionally destructive eco-organisms in the world, bioorganisms in the world, the Metroid. And you'll have to see what happens when you combine Phazon with a Metroid. So, anyway, moving forward.
I don't think about it. I don't. Ow. Ooh. E.
That hurt.
Actually, now that I think about it, if we're talking about Metroid Prime itself, I don't think that's actually. That might have been something. Well, okay. So I do remember back in the very original Metroid Prime NTSC release, they make the logbook implies that it was a byproduct of being it was like a whole thing that the Space Pirates didn't make. Basically, I guess it was like a fusion between Phazon and Metroids. But then they changed it for later release because they realized that doesn't make any sense.
Because of the other experiments
because
they
you
did?
find because you find it inside the crater itself.
Oh, so now the idea is that it is just a being of... Oh, I see. The idea is that how could they have experimented on it and then put it back underground? So all this time it is just a... So, okay, so I guess in that case then maybe what happened was... Because you also find Metroids down there. I guess then the more plausible explanation is... Because the Chozo were the ones that created the Metroids. Albeit with an altruistic... They had an altruistic motive. They wanted to, kill the truly destructive Parasite, the X-Parasite.
I think the only logical explanation I can think of is that maybe the Chozo already had their own supplement of Metroids hanging around with them at the time, and maybe some of them got stuck in there.
Right, and then
that's my guess anyway.
It's either that, or I have one other plan, which is that maybe this all was a big Metroid nursing ground originally, and when the meteorite crash landed, the literal impact of where the meteorite hit happened to just be on a Metroid. So, and that's probably where Metroid Prime came from, was the corrupted might of that meteorite, and all of that concentrated energy formed that. Oh, hang on, we need boosting.
If anyone watching this and are diehard Metroid historians want to correct us on any of this, by all means, go right ahead.
Please, I love this series. I love its story. I want to be corrected on this crap. I want to learn more about it. Because...
I want the real facts, god damn it.
Because I am never going to do a 100% scan playthrough of this game. Although, one other feature I remembered learning is that they actually made it a little easier in this game. Oh, there's another artifact right away.
Easy peasy.
You
know what? Actually, it's funny because you literally got it off a Chozo statue.
Hey! I would jump inside this thing. I would jump inside this thing's arm, but not this one. A different one will go Chozo bowling with us. I think you can also find an energy tank, I think, if you bring power bombs here, but that's much later. So, next, there, what was I talking about this? We mentioned the...
You were talking about how Remastered did include the ability to save logbook entries.
Yep. So thank goodness.
It was either between playthroughs or between save files.
I think it's everything. I think it's just a global scan thing. So it's fantastic because before Doug and Hype, you had to do all this in a single save file. So if you missed any of those scannables at the beginning of the game in the Frigate Orpheon, which is a completely missable room, you're it. That's it. You can't do it anymore.
That's it. Go home.
So that was. I'm glad that they did that. Again, I was not someone who personally cared. Just my glasses were good. I was not someone who personally cared about the scan log. It's cool. There's some fun stories to learn about things. But otherwise,
I mean, if it means anything, all the more juicier writings you'll find in the series are normally from the pirates.
Right. Such as I think it was in Metroid Prime 2, actually, I think, where they're telling you not to do not feed the Metroids pirate rations. They are not supposed to eat pirate rations. They eat energy. And you'll later find a Metroid that looks a little bigger. I want to say it's straight up you find one that looks a little bit bigger, or it's moving a bit more sluggish than the others. And if you scan it...
It's more sickly than the others.
And if you scan it, it does actually mention the fact that it was eating pirate rations when it should not have been.
No, I
There's
just
that,
imagine.
and then I know... And I mean, everyone knows about the story about how they tried to reverse engineer Samus's Morph Ball technology.
Yeah.
Not end well.
Although that whole story about, like, the space pirates feeding the Metroid, now I'm just imagining one of several beautiful instances of Mel Blanc saying this. I'm imagining, like, a space pirate is about to feed one, then the Metroid just smacks it, and you just hear with a Mel Blanc voice, "Hey, sister! Can't you read?"
I would like that. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, like, I think you might have seen it,
No
Logan. Like, I
feeding the
sent you that
Metroids.
whole 8-minute compilation of all his glorious screaming.
So much screaming, but it's all fantastic. I dream of a genie with white feathers. Watch it, Bob!
Actually, with Bugs, it's like, I dream of Genie, she's a light brown hair.
Alright, the architect. Nope, it was this shaman. I was like, I'm sorry, architect, I messed up.
It's not me. It's the one-eyed. It's the one-eyed
You said I
man.
fucked up.
I think one Blanc yell that I still really love, that, like, sticks out, you know, I know the one we talk about a lot is with the horse and the doctor, but when I don't remember the tune it was based on, but just as the little bird, him just shouting, "I can't talk above a whisper!"
And then we go right back to... that's a classic. I like this bit. I hate this bit.
Oh, have fun.
I know, it's just time wasting. I like Prime as much as the next person, but this is fluff. Which actually is a very, which actually is very interesting because in Prime Remastered they give us this. Actually, I think this is also a thing. I think this is actually a thing from the Trilogy Edition as well.
It was.
In Wii ports and later ports, they give you the Spring Ball, which normally was not introduced until the second game. So.
Yeah, and I think it was because I forget. Was that supposed to be like a singular upgrade, or did that also come with like jump boots?
I think it came with the jump boots. Anyway, haha, the wave beam.
All right, we finally got a purple. Well, we almost got a purple beam, but then the Sheegoths came out to play.
Arses. Alright, well, time to go again. So, again, Sheegoths, they are very durable. Shoot them in the back, that's it. So, while I'm killing them, I mean, compared to when we last did Prime and now this, gotta ask, with the success of the Mario movie, Doug, would you be interested in seeing a Samus Metroid movie?
Yeah, I'd absolutely be down for that.
Now both you and James do want it to be a live-action movie.
Yeah, I just think listen, you could say that for the good majority of Nintendo's franchises should not be live action. Metroid, I think, is the one that makes the most sense to make live action.
When it comes to Metroid, yeah, that's the one I'd absolutely love to see in live action, because for how Metroid looks visually, it just works for a live action.
Right, because it's like the one franchise that Nintendo has out of a lot of them that builds itself a little more towards, well, realistic sci-fi than literally anything else on their catalog.
Yeah, literally. I mean, it could also work for, like, animation-wise, like 2D animation stuff, but live action is definitely up there.
I mean, that'd be cool too.
Whoa.
Either that or just straight up CG. But I don't know. It's one of those things with Metroid, they could literally just do just about anything aside from half-assed it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess one of the reasons why I'm really apprehensive about being live action, you know, on top of all the general apprehensions people have with, like, live action adaptations of, like, anything, is that, like, you know, if we're going to be following the same footnotes as a lot of, like, you know, mainstream sci-fi, like, 80 to 90% of the movie is going to be CGI to begin with, so I figured you might as well just bite the bullet and have everything be animated.
I guess that's fair. But I guess it also depends on, like, how stylized you make it.
I could see it where it's, like, mostly animated until she removes her helmet at the end. But, I mean, I could also see it being animated, but, like, hear me out, like, in the same kind of vibe as how Lightyear was animated, but clearly the texturing was they wanted to try and go for more realistic, like, looks and stuff. More
sort of, yeah.
lighting, fancy lighting. Anyway, got ourselves our first wave beam.
We got the purple beam now.
I don't know how to switch to it. Oh, this is awkward. Oh, is this the one where you have to hold ZL and then? Oh, it's been a while.
Try the D-pad.
That's how I change visors. Oh, is this where I have to? Is this where I have to hold X? Yeah,
I
that's
think
right.
so.
Yeah, so in this version you have to hold X and then D-pad to switch. But I'll make it work. Damn it.
Could honestly be worse, but yeah. So in most Metroid games, or at least the classic Metroid games, the wave beam was more of like it was more of like a beam. It's like a larger beam as opposed to like the typical like lemons that you'd shoot out with your power beam. Because that's not as easy to really replicate in the 3D space. For Metroid Prime, they make it more of a elemental type thing. Basically, with the wave beam, they make it more electric based.
Yeah. So we can use this to power on energy, to power on doors, lure those little energy ball thingies.
Yeah, because they love that there energy. Give me that shit. Ow.
Do you see that story, Doug, about like how we learned how they actually pulled off that static effect, like visually in the GameCube?
No, I didn't see it.
It was actually kind of sick. Basically, what they did was, in order to pull off that effect without having to load in a whole separate video file or, I always thought. When I first saw that, I was like, can I actually use that as a shortcut? But no, I gotta go the long way.
Alas.
Whoops. Ow! But anyway, actually, no, okay, I see, because this is the shortcut.
Up to it.
There we go. Anyway, so, some help, please. So, apparently, in order to pull that effect off without having to expend a lot of, graphical memory, literally, they, when it's time to do the static, they actually literally have a text file that just is a bunch of random letters and gobbledygook, and they just feed that into the graphic renderer, and it makes a bunch of gobbledygook, which to us looks like static.
Huh.
So the static effect is literally
amazing
stored as a text file.
Yeah, truly amazed what we can mistake for one thing or another, especially if it's gobbledygook.
Man, I just... I hope I don't want Retro Studio to go the way of Alpha Dream. I want them to stay. I want them to stay. They have such great teams. I just want them to do something with them. Nintendo.
Yeah,
let them continue to do their cool stuff.
Yeah, it's like especially the more you look into their histories and whatnot, the more you realize how underutilized as of a studio Retro really is, and also the fact that they changed. They changed their work faction so much, it almost becomes a completely different entity with, thankfully, similar, quality assurance.
Yeah. I'll bring you both up.
Honestly, just makes me wonder on the more, once Metroid Prime 4 does finish, will it even live up to its contemporaries?
It's going to probably face the same, amount of scrutiny of, expectations, but I'll give it credit that I think Dread matched the expectations of people who wanted a new Metroid game.
Even though that was made by a completely separate studio.
For sure. You're not wrong.
Which, I'll give them their props. Considering these are the same people that gave us the second Lords of Shadow game, which was a whole spin-off and everything, that was just okay at best. The fact they made Returns and then eventually Dread is it's very rare to come across literal glow-ups like that.
Oh, yes. Samus Returns, albeit Samus Returns relies a bit too much on the parry mechanic, it is an incredible follow-up, or incredible, reimagining.
Right. And Dread... it's not that much better about its reliance on pairing, but I'd say they make it mesh a little better with the overall gameplay. So there's that.
Okay.
I don't know. I still think it's pretty insane. I still remember actually going through the entirety of their Castlevania game and thinking it was just okay.
Yeah.
It's just I would never have thought of them to be I would never think of them as like someone who would be fitting for a proper Metroid game. And then Nintendo had Nintendo had other ideas, and they hired them, and then well, here we are now with literally the most like literally the best received, or at the very least the biggest like success story a Metroid game has ever had.
Well, and the sheer like infamy around the title Dread, and like it got people excited for a game again.
Yeah, like the moment that game was announced proper, it's like there was a lot of fans popping off that night.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna actually take a break here. I think this is a decent starting. I got a butt ton of crap in this already.
Yeah.
So we're going. So next time around, I'd say we're already about, in terms of the big collectibles, I'd say we're already about a third of the way through. Maybe I don't want to say half. I think that's a bit too ambitious, but we're about a third of the way through. So next up, we're gonna be heading through here, which will lead us into a big pirate base. I wish you could see it in the distance, but there's a big pirate base. And there's going to have a number of useful upgrades between that and the boss that lies that-a-way. Hopefully, that-a-way will not lead to a glitch like what happened the first time I tried recording this.
Well, listen, you're at least running this off of legitimate hardware. You're likely going to be fine.
Yay. You guys got any closing thoughts, Hype and Doug?
Nothing immediately on my end. Douglas?